to this place, Mainframe. My format, Guardian. To mend and defend. To defend my newfound friends, their hopes and dreams. To defend them from their enemies.
All right, folks, we're going to cut that right there. If you know what that is, you grew up in one of the best eras. And let me go ahead and focus this camera before we get started, because we're here at Edge 2 Otaku and Edge 2 Gaming at the same time. You're like, how does that happen? Because there's only one Edge 2 Otaku that is on YouTube. If you're not following there, you have to. That's the place where you can find every single video for my weekly coverage of One Piece, the brief spoilers, full spoilers, TCB scans, and the actual live reads for the stream on Sundays. You also get anime, video games, manga, video games, reactions, and more. Edge 2 Gaming follows everything else in gaming that it has nothing to do with anime. So one page is devoted to anime, one page is devoted to video games, and here on Twitch, it's devoted to both. I bring you both of them, but we have different locations, like I just said, one of those being patreon.com. Go to patreon.com, Edge2 Gaming, or Elijah5000. There's content on both of those Patrons. They're going through this huge kind of merging of files right now. So once everything gets moved over, you should be able to find all content there that I am able to access. You do know we've had to redo the YouTube channels because we lost access for violations, infractions, and then honestly BS on some shit. That's one of the reasons why we can't connect to TikTok from here, and TikTok has to be done separately. That being said, I do appreciate everybody that has stopped by, because we have the brief spoilers for One Piece today. What's up? 101 is in the house. Laris, I thank you. Appreciate you for coming in. Thank everybody that is on Kick, that is on Facebook Gaming. We're back on YouTube now. Whenever I do the live streams, we cannot stream to YouTube. YouTube will shut this bitch down. So if you have taken a seat at the table, if you have pulled up your shin pads, if you got your jersey on, and you have joined me for the Aoshi Gambit, where we watch 3 episodes of Aoshi every day until we complete the series, because I am on a journey to uncover the best soccer anime. Because I've watched a lot of sports anime. You've heard me talk about Hajime no Ippo. You've heard me talk about Kuroko's Basketball, Ace of Diamond, Chihiro Furu. There are so many different styles of sports anime within the same realm of single sport. There's a lot. I would say there's several rugby, there's a lot of soccer, several baseball, and then there's a lot of, right now there's a lot of basketball because they're adding in Korean shit. But I haven't really dove into the world of soccer, and Aishi Toayo has grabbed my heart just like Luffy. He makes expressions, he speaks his mind bold and bravely, he doesn't back down. Even when he has doubt, he does a little bit more internal thinking, but he is that man that would be the captain of the ship. So make sure to check out those streams. We'll be hitting 3 more episodes. I'm gonna try to keep it around the same time, so just go back, look and see when I dropped that episode. I think it was like around 2 a.m. 3-ish. That's when we should go, because it was right before, like right as we were ending, signing it up. And I was tired as fuck. I started blending, what did I just start watching? Silo in with the 3 episodes that we watched, because episode 2 and 3 really add components of different characters. Episode 1, we hear about Fukuda, the former legend who is now a recruiter for the J League. Then we have his sister Hana, who gives amazing advice to Ashito. And then once we get to the 3rd episode, Omoto and some of the other players that are being talked about, it just continues to build upon each episode and gives this cohesion that's wild. But we're not here to talk about Aoshi. You can join me for the Aoshi Gambit episodes 4, 5, and 6 today. We're here for the brief spoilers. Brief fucking spoilers came in for One Piece chapter 1189, and I've got to say that I don't know I think the last time, and it's perfect because it pulls this parallel from Crocodile. The last time that I was worried about Luffy and what's going to happen after he loses was when he Crocodile and then Kaido, because he got fucked with by an agent. I was about to say Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but you know, one of the agents that was there, the CP agents, and now he is seemingly being defeated by Imu, because Imu's sword that he pulled out not only drains Luffy's energy, like we saw as soon as Imu changed the sword, his little barometer around him, that little halo cloud of Sharingan eyes, he put his spear in there and took out another weapon, which I said, hey, there's I bet there's 19 or 20. This will represent the 20 kingdoms that were in alliance and the swords. He pulls out a sword. As soon as he pulls out that fucking sword, the trees in the area, big ass Elbaph branches, start to wilt and die. He stabs Luffy. We automatically see Luffy's still in Gear 5 form, but he looks like everything's being sucked out of him. Imu just turned into a succubus on Luffy's ass, and there's nothing that he can do as of yet. But as you know, every time Luffy comes up against insurmountable odds, and especially when he dies, it is something that reopens his destiny. And we say that because his will is just brought to the brink. In the Katakuri fight, I would say that he showed not only his intelligence to be able to learn during battle and apply it, but also the stakes where he's almost dead in that one too, mortally wounded by being stabbed, almost fucking died, had to run, eat. I compare that fight to Goku versus Frieza. It wasn't his first big fight, but it's a very, very prominent fight in Luffy's bona fides as a captain. It's something that got him ready for the next chapter where he was going, and that was going to lead to Kaido. So we have the brief spoilers here. 1189. This is titled King of the World. Again, this is what the spoilers say. This will change between now and the full chapter. But the cover page shows Nami scolding Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, who have turned into monkeys. A lesson. I don't know why they're being scolded, but we'll get more next. Spoilers, and it says Imu gets another weapon called Sea God's Sword and stabs Luffy again. Then Imu pins Luffy to a tree with both swords. So if he keeps the Blade of Nothingness in Luffy, that could be comparable to Blackbeard's Void Fruit. This Sea God, the Sea God sword, don't really fucking know what that's going to do to him, but he's stabbing Luffy with that to pin him. We have two swords now, Blade of Nothingness, Sea God sword. So he pins Luffy to the tree and with both swords. Then Usopp, we have been asking for it, and Oda's like, you know what, bitch? I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna fucking give it to you. You've been asking for Usopp. Usopp is here on Elbaph. He not gonna say he didn't do shit. He drank with the giants. He put some respect on Luffy's name as well as Elbaph. He shot and blew the fuck up out of Gunko's top half of the body, and he bum rushed Imu with Brook. But he hasn't got a lot of W's. These are not W's, these are assists. And right now it says that Usopp is coming back to assist his Captain Luffy. And so everybody else, Brook, Jinbei, Frankie, Nami, helping Gunko. Usopp takes a step to the side. Sanji fighting Killingham. Zoro fighting Sommers. Luffy over here defending Loki's death in his head. And then he realized Loki's alive. And Usopp's like, no, my boy. Luffy went over there to fight Imu, and he's in trouble. And we see this several times throughout the series. Like, Luffy and Usopp have this tether, this connection, where Usopp feels a lot of shit. Luffy. And you hear him, huh, do you guys feel that something with Luffy? He's the Krillin of this show. Usopp senses something bad has happened to Luffy. Then, back to the block of ice. Gunko's ice has melted, but she still hasn't regained consciousness. Loki remembers a conversation with Shanks the day when Harald died. So this is going to say something else about most likely Loki destroying Harald's body. And maybe times when Shanks and Scopper damaged Harald's body, or Shanks, Scopper, and Gerald damaged Harold. Gerald Harold's body enough to where he couldn't respond. And I think that's what's going to happen here. If you are incapacitated and Imu leaves your body after possession, you're non-responsive. Because remember, Imu sent energy to Harald. With Gunko, Imu possessed Gunko. So he remembers that story. He's telling him about what Shanks said, or the conversation with Shanks the day that Harald died. And it says, Shanks said the world government was preparing for the future war and told Loki that the enemy is the king of the world. So now that Loki's thinking of that, anything that Imu said about the king of the world or controlling the world, he's putting these pieces together. Imu gives Sommers a weapon called Sword of the Wrath to fight Zoro. Okay. Ashura, the king of hell, the king of the gates of hell, Zoro versus the Sword of Wrath. Don't know what that is. Don't know where it comes from. But again, it's got to come out of Imu's 19 eyes. And then Imu gives Killingham a weapon called Spear of Holy Command to fight Sanji. Holy Command, he's commanding all these MMAs and must make them stronger. If not, he's going to enforce Zaza. And maybe Sanji's going to have to pick Zaza or Killingham, or I have to rush to beat Killingham because leaving to get Zaza does not destroy this beast. That being said, I went back to the chambers of the throne room and looked at all the swords around Imu's chair, the throne, and I did not see a spear. So this is the second spear, because if the Spear of Command is what Imu was using against Loki and Luffy, that spear does not show up anywhere around the throne. There are 3 axes and the rest are different swords. One of them's a rapier. The rest of them, I think one looks like Mihawk's sword, but they just look like different swords. And we need to get stories about these kings, about these countries that are aligned with Imu and the elders and the world government, to see if any of these swords are significant, because we do know that a sword is very damn significant in the world of One Piece, whether you use it or not. It holds a place, it holds ties. The name gives it weight, gives it power, and then those that can become black blades due to those that wield them really change the destiny and the winds of the world of One Piece. So we continue after Imu gives Sommers. So weapons that are out right now. Luffy has deep in his guts the Blade of Nothingness, and then the sword, was it the Sword God, or the Sea God Sword? Then Sommers has the Sword of Wrath, and Killingham has the Spear of the Holy Command. All of the weapons Imu uses are weapons that belong to the 19 kings from 800 years ago. So to not see that spear, that must be something that Imu carries around all the time with him. But to know that these weapons were from the kings, why were these kings so significant? What was the battle? What was the war? We know we have this ancient race with superior technology. How did they get overturned and overrun and beat? How did Joy Boy lose? Like, it just builds so many more questions about the history about these weapons and what's about to happen on Elbaph, because Zoro is not surprisingly calm. Zoro is Zolo calm. He's that nigga. He was calm when he was out there hanging. He's like, all I gotta do is make it a month without eating, I'll be fine. He's sitting here like Sommers. Oh, I'm not worried about Sanji. Sanji about to whoop your boy's ass. I'm about to whoop yours. And remember, Sommers and Killingham have both got Zenkai boost from Imu, and now they've got enchanted holy relics. Like, this is about to be crazy, because I thought the fights would not be longer than maybe 1 chapter devoted to Zoro and Sanji. I think we're at least going to get 2 now, and it's going to be sprinkled either at the beginning or the end with Luffy, Imu, and whoever's in that chapter. And as you saw, the title is Gaban Saves Luffy, so Scopper is now healed up. If Scopper's here, and we remember who was with Scopper, Chopper, I think Chopper's getting ready to lend a hand as well. All the Straw Hat Pirates, this is our resurgent, because when Luffy loses, he comes back stronger. He learns from that. And I think Luffy with Crocodile, he died, came back, and he incorporated those sand tsunamis he saw and created Gum Gum Storm. When Luffy lost to Kaido, he had been hit with the breath blast. He'd been hit with lightning. He grabbed lightning, and he was emulating Enel. So I think this is just the next battle that is going to give Luffy ammo and more creativity to take from Imu. And if Imu's using weapons from the 19 Kings, Luffy, without even knowing it, because he don't give a fuck, is going to create defenses or tactics based off those weapons of the 19 Kings 800 years ago. Luffy is not as strong as Joy Boy, which Imu said, and this is one reason why. We need to know what happened in the history. We need to know about that strength, the past, and Luffy has to broaden himself. As a very intuitive and smart fighter, the depths of where he's going to be tested now is really going to challenge his will to, I think, merge with Imu's. And when I say Imu, I think Imu and Joy Boy were brothers. Best friends, if not brothers. But when Luffy changes to Gear 5, every time there's a yellow haki that comes out first, and then it changes to the red and black. That yellow is Joy Boy's infused haki within the devil fruit that Luffy ate. So I'm excited to see that. The last bit of this says the chapter ends when Imu is about to kill Luffy with the XingTian Axe, which I don't know which axe this is, but I said there's 3 axes around the throne. But Gaban appears and blocks Imu's attack. And we do have another break next week. So Gaban, who willingly got stabbed by Gimu and taken down, has been healed by Chopper, coming back, has that haki, and we are about to see him stand in. Now, if you did watch the latest episode of One Piece, you saw Scopper Gaban test Luffy and Zoro. So now, what level does Scopper have to go to? Because this is his home. His son Colin is being abducted. His wife Ripley has been fucked up. He's been fucked up. He's never run from a battle. He ain't been no bitch. He was a part of the Roger Pirates and then stayed here on Elbaph amongst giants and bedded a giant and had his own kid. Scopper Gaban is about to enlighten Luffy. Luffy's about to take tactics from Scopper. And I think even Zoro is going to feel and hone his haki when he feels that Luffy, because for Usopp to feel this first, and Luffy to have been with Zoro longer, this is going to show Zoro and Sanji tuning in and fine-tuning their haki, and they're going to understand what's going on with Luffy. I think Zoro's going to pick up some shit from Scopper, even though he's fighting Sommers, and then Sanji is going to also pick up something from the words of Scopper Gaban, and then we're going to see Chopper come in. And I don't know, maybe Chopper can mend up Loki, help Gunko with the rest of the Straw Hats. We still need to figure out what Brook, Jinbei, Frankie, and Nami are going to do, and Robin as well with Saul. But I digress. This is what we need to worry about. Sommers, Zoro, the Sword of Wrath. Killingham, the Spear of Command, was this? The Spear of Holy Command, and Sanji. Then we have Luffy stabbed up, Blade of Nothingness, the Sea God Sword, and then Imu brings out the XingTian Axe, getting ready to kill Luffy. But Scopper Gaban is there with his 2 axes. We don't know what their names are, but the Mountain Eater is here. So thank you guys so much. These are your brief spoilers. Let me know in the comments what your theories are, what your thoughts are. I already told you mine. I think this next chapter is heavy into Scopper Gaban defending Luffy, talking to him, trying to get the swords out of him. He may even know what is going on. I don't know, because him and Rayleigh went and saved Garp and Roger when Davy D. Zebek died. I don't know how many other run-ins they had with Imu directly, which none really. I think the Straw Hats are the first, but they have fought the Knights of God on several occasions because they try to reclaim Shanks. So what is going to happen now? Is Scopper going to die? I don't think. I know he's going to get blasted again, but I know Luffy is going to learn something from him, and Luffy's also going to incorporate shit from Imu to push back and drive Imu off of Elbaph. And then the Straw Hats are going on another journey to get stronger before they take on Imu. And in between now and then, so many things have happened in the world. I think time does really fly faster here in Elbaph, which attributes to some of the Straw Hats getting greater strength without doing anything, Luffy included. Luffy just ate. But also the landscape of the world outside is about to be a lot different, and some alliances are going to change. So let me know what you think. I'm Elijah 5000. This has been our coverage of 1189, King of the World, One Piece. Imu's fighting Luffy, Loki, and the Straw Hats. And I know this is not the end. This is the precursor and the setup to the final battle. Thank you guys so much. I'll catch you in the next one. Full spoilers should drop sometime this week. Turn on your notifications. Prepare for that. And also, if you want amazing plant-based ramen, high fiber, high protein, low carbs, low sodium, imueatsramen.com, IMMIEATS.com. Use promo code EDGE2G to get $5 off your online purchase. Or you can go look through the menu and find the store locator and see if there's a store near you where you can go and buy ramen yourself. Very affordable, delicious. It's what you need. But if you want it online with discount, use promo code switcheries.com for all my Nintendo Switch users. Use promo code EDGE10 to get 10% off your purchase at checkout. Thumb grips, cases, guards, anything that you want, anime theme, video game theme for your Nintendo Switch at whatever version, 1, 2, LED, OLED. Go there and get your discount on us. They sponsor the show. They keep it nice and free for you. And if you have a Amazon Prime subscription, because you get one free every month, if you haven't used it, use it here on the channel to help support this channel that brings One Piece and anime to you to continue helping us keep it free for you. Thank you guys so much. I'm about to go, but let me know what you're thinking, because this is about to get nasty. Between the pre-spoilers and full spoilers, we're going to get more context. I know. On the sword, Imu'S going to have a little dialogue every time he stabs Luffy. Scalper Gaban at the very end with Imu and the axe, and then also Loki's memories with Shanks. Once we get to the CCB scans, we'll get more on the weapons being given to Sommers and Killingham, but I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.